Hey guys, it's your girl Flowbabez coming to you live and direct from YouTube. How are y'all doing today? Happy Friday. Let me know in the comment section how you guys are doing today. Like, I am curious. Like, I really want to know what you guys are doing. Like, what plans do you have? Because your girl ain't got no plans. Okay guys, so let's get right into it. As you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be doing a movie review on the movie Love in Every Word. Hey, this movie, if you haven't watched it, what are you doing here? Off this video and go and watch it, my friend, and then you come back. So in day one, of my brothers and sisters, my beautiful brothers and sisters, if you have not watched this movie, you're missing out, like, bruh. But let's start with this movie review. Let's get into it. So to be honest, when I first started this movie, I thought I had clicked on the wrong movie because it started out with her like bashing this one guy. Actually, I'm tripping. She was not even bashing him. She was, you know, telling him like, after all I've done for you, take off the clothes, take off the stuff I bought for you. I was like, what's this doing? Like, how is this, where's this movie going to? Because why did it start off like that? It really had me wondering, like, what is this movie like talking about, you know? Because from the title, you can't really guess what the movie's about, because it starts off not so much in a lovely manner, you know what I mean? For a movie that's called Love in Every Word, it was not giving love in the beginning. So after she does all of that, we now move into her in her office, and then this British guy calls, and he's like, baby, I want to clap those chicks. I said, yeah? Clap what cheeks? Are you crazy? Like, what do you mean? So, you know, to be honest, when I first watched the movie, obviously she's kicking that first guy out. So my first thought is like, okay, this is the guy that she's gonna break up with later on. And then the British guy that's calling her is probably some random lover that, you know, that's been on her pee for a long time, but she's not giving him a chance. But reverse was the case. That was not it at all. I did not expect the movie to go the way it did. So anyway, she ends up hanging up on the guy, in fact blocking him, and I'm like, okay, now that she's blocked him, she's kicked out the first guy, who is this Love in Every Word guy? Because I'm really trying to understand why they called it that. So then that's when time now goes by, her mom's like, nah, please come to Anambra, come to the village. I'm like, okay, this one they're mentioning Anambra, it's gotta be like an Igbo movie, because Anambra is a state in Igbo land, and it's as Igbo as it gets. So yeah, so she ends up going to Igbo land, and then, you know, she's dodging all the suitors that her mom has for her, only to run into the suitor that her mom had planned for her to meet. Is that not crazy? So she ends up meeting him for the first time in her compound when she's outside. Her cousin had just finished a traditional wedding, and they're just, you know, rapporting, going back and forth, and then he's like, I will marry you. She said, eh? She started laughing. But bro, that's how all these Nigerian movies be going. Like, I will marry you, and then they end up getting married, and then it's just so cute. But like, the reason why this one was quite different was just because she was such a career woman. Like, she was so focused on like her career that like, I just didn't see it happening to where like she would actually like start liking him, because she was already so sad. You know, most of the Nigerian movies where the guy comes and says he's gonna marry her, the girl will be like, you know, blushing and falling over the place, and like, she doesn't really have much going for herself, so of course she's gonna fall in love or whatever. But nah, baby girl had things going for herself. Like, she had built an empire for herself. She had built a name for herself and a career for herself. So yeah, imagine my shock when she starts telling her friends about the guy, and she didn't even collect his number. I was like, wait, so after everything that happened, you guys slept in the same room, nothing even happened, mind you, but you guys slept in the same room and everything, you didn't even switch number, you didn't even exchange numbers? What's going on? I was like, where is this movie heading? Because how y'all not exchange numbers? After everything though, the guy now came to her job with people like what's those Ogene people, like, it's like Ogene people that were playing music. And they were able to come and like, you know, make a whole show for her, for him to get his number for her. In fact, he even bought her whole job. She worked at like in this building. I forgot what she was working for, but he bought the building she was working at in order to get her number. And I was like, Odogu Obiora, like, for real, Odogu in every sense. And I feel like that's what the movie was trying to say, like, love in every word. It's not just by talking. Like, it's actually in every sense guy. Like, he was proving his love for her. So he came in and got her number. And you know, to be very honest, my first thought was, dang, this guy's really trying to buy his love from her. Like, at this point, it's like, if he didn't have money, would she, like, you know, would she have given him the number? Would she have even like given him a thought? But to be honest, I feel like love is sweeter when there's money, guy. Like, you know, it's a lot easier to prove your love for someone when you have the money to do so, because this is somebody that was living in Anambra State. She's living in Lagos. He was able to fly. Keep that in mind, though. He's not living in Lagos, so each time he's seeing her, he's flying over to Lagos to see her. If you didn't have money, would you be able to fly over to see your lover? Like, you need money to do these things, guy. I know they say that money doesn't buy all happiness, but at the end of the day, money has a lot to do with happiness. I'm not gonna lie. Money can buy you happiness, but money bought him a ticket to Lagos so he could see his love. You know what I mean? So the movie starts getting intense from there, because at this point, they start dating more, going out and all this stuff. Next thing you know, the girl says she don't really like him. Why? Watch the movie to find out why she didn't really like him. But I felt like the reason was absurd. If you're showing me love like that, I'm talking love like that, not just with money, but with words, with actions, like you're really living up to what you said you would do. What the heck? I felt like her reason was kind of off. It just felt like there was more to it. Like, what do you mean? Actually, I have to say the reason why, because it's gonna make the whole thing flow. But she said that the reason why she didn't really like him was because of his accent. I just felt like there has to be a deeper meaning to that, because what do you mean his accent? After all the love he's shown you, all the guys she's dated in the past have been bums. They had nothing to show for it. She lost like over $5,000 to the bum in the beginning of the movie, and this guy is showing you over $5,000 that he spent on you, and you're telling me his accent is the problem? Girl, get out of here. That thing just pissed me off. Like, I think at that point I even had to pause the movie, because what do you mean? Like, what do you actually mean? But anyways, so yeah, so she starts talking about the accent, and her friends are even like, what the heck? Like, do you need help? Like, we're gonna get you a therapist, a pastor, all of the above, because something's not adding up. So then that's when we now move into the part where she finally tells Obiora the reason why she's not trying to get with him is because of the accent. And then they distance each other, they distance from themselves, and they stop talking. I'm like, damn. I'm actually loving this couple, and like, I love how they incorporated the Igbo language into this movie, because not gonna lie, like, the Igbo language is kind of fading, because a lot of Igbo people tend to not teach their children Igbo, which kind of sucks, because Igbo is such a rare, not being biased because I'm Igbo, but like, I feel like it's important for your children to learn how to speak Igbo. So I feel like they purposely included him speaking Igbo just so that people can, like, you know, start picking up on how to speak Igbo. I watched this movie with one of my friends as well, and because of this movie, she actually wanted us to start speaking Igbo more to each other, and ever since we watched the movie, we've been speaking Igbo and communicating better. She's learning a lot more. So kudos to them for including, I believe his name is Uzor, to speak Igbo. She talks about the accent and whatever, they distance themselves, and I'm like, damn, like, I really was like rooting for this Igbo love, you know? And so time goes by, randomly she wakes up and she's like, oh, I like you, I still want to be with you. I'm like, okay. And you know what's crazy? That was such a twist, because usually in Nigerian movies, it's usually the guy that'll come back around and still be begging. But like, whenever she was like, oh, your accent, I don't like your accent, he didn't even beg, he didn't even cry. He still treated her with respect, dropped her off that night, and you just didn't hear from him. You know what I mean? So I just love how, like, they let the girl come in and, like, you know, tell him, hey, I like you. You know what I mean? Sometimes the girl also has to do her part and, like, you know, let the guy know that she likes him and cares about him, because as much as we want to do shakara, you know, I'm talking to myself as well, sometimes it is good to let the guy know that, okay, you know what, like, I'm feeling you too, so that he knows that he's not wasting his time. Because honestly, I feel like Obiora felt like he was wasting his time at that point. Like, I feel like he still loved her, but it was a matter of, like, I love you, but I'm not gonna, like, force this, I'm gonna let it flow, if that makes sense. So they get back on good terms or whatnot, and then, guys, tell me why it gets to the point where Obiora is telling her how he really wants her to excel in her business, and that he wants her to, like, you know, leave this 9-to-5 corporate life and start her own business. And she's like, no, Also, can we like applaud her for her femininity? This movie really made me want to tap into my more feminine side, because she never for once really raised her voice. Every time it was always, no, I'll take you, no, please. You know, like she was very feminine and like seductive, and like she was just giving grown and sexy vibes, you know? So the whole time that he's saying this, he's like, she's like, oh, I'll take you now, like, I'm just gonna, you know, like work here, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to take any money from you, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, why don't you want to take any money from me now? Why don't you want to take, does it mean that you don't see yourself marrying me? And the girl was silent. I was like, why are you silent? Girl, if it was me, I would have hopped on that situation. I would have hopped on that case. Like, what you mean? Like, it's just crazy, because I know what it feels like to, like, you know, be an independent woman and not want to ask for help. But to be honest, if someone is lending out their hand to help you out and they want to see you do better, they want to see you grow, and they genuinely want to just see you prosper, why are you holding back? Why are you holding back? Like, they're literally trying to, like, they're literally giving you a hand and like helping you out, like, you know what I mean? So I really understood Obiara's frustration in this situation, because man, would that be frustrating if you see yourself marrying this person, you're putting in your all and everything, and she's still kind of like holding back a bit, you know what I mean? I feel like she loved him, don't get me wrong, she loved him a lot, but she was still holding back a bit, just because I feel like her past relationships probably tainted her like image of like this relationship. She was probably anticipating like, when is this like gonna, like, you know, when is this honeymoon stage gonna end? And like, to be honest, I don't blame her. I feel like as human beings, we always wait for that ball to drop, and like sometimes just enjoy it. Like, what if there was no ball to be dropped? You know what I mean? So I feel like she should have just embraced the Igbo love. But again, they ended up splitting up again, and then they didn't talk for a while, and then that's when her friends swoop in. Honestly, this movie also taught me how important it is to have great friends. There's some friends that would have sat there and just let her, you know, cry it out and just be broken up, but they stepped in and explained situations to him. This is the type of past trauma she had, and this is why it's hard for her to accept the love that you're giving her. Please give her another chance. I was like, wow, like, these are amazing friends. You know, from one end of the stick, you can see it as like, dang, like, why are they airing out her business? But from my perspective and from another end of the stick, you can see it as like, they're really trying to help their girl out. They really want to see her happy. Those are the type of friends I have in my life, and the type of friends I'll continue to have in my life, because, what? They really stepped in and like literally saved her relationship, because it was after that conversation they had with him that he was like, okay, you know what? Let me go and see her. Because at first I was really scared that he was gonna give up on the relationship, and the movie was just gonna end with her being single. But he came to see the girl, Lou. And you know, one thing I really loved about this movie, he kept his accent regardless. You know, I thought that when she said that, oh, I didn't like your accent, I thought he was gonna, like, you know, switch it up and change up his accent and go and start taking English classes. But no, he kept his accent. Hey! When you're in a relationship, always be yourself. Because at the end of the day, she came around to still love him. What? I was really expecting them to like put him in English speaking classes, or he'll start trying to learn how to speak better English, or he'll tone it down a bit for her. Nah. My guy kept the same energy. What? Like, that was like my favorite part of the whole thing. Like, he did not change his Igbo-ness for nothing. If you're watching this right now and you needed a sign, do not change your Igbo-ness for nothing. The person that's for you will find you. The person that loves you as you are will find you. Don't change yourself. Love in every word, for real. Guys, I love this movie so much. Like, it had me tingling and giggling. Like, oh my goodness, it was so sweet. Like, literally. And like, I can't wait to keep doing these reviews and talk about like my thoughts in movies, because I don't really have people to like rapport with as much, just because, you know, most of my friends don't really like watching like all these Igbo Nigerian YouTube movies. But we day I will find my audience one day, okay? But yeah, so I just love how it ended with them finally getting engaged and everything and coming together again. I really do hope they make a part 2 of the wedding. Even if they just make like a short clip of like just a traditional wedding. I'll be there live and direct. I'll grab my popcorn and my wine and I'll watch. But yeah, like, let me know what you guys thought about the movie as well. Did it have you giggling and tingling as well? Like, or did you just not like the movie at all? Let me know. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, in the next review. If you like my review so far, let me know in the comment section. If you think I should just stop altogether, let me know as well, because I take out time to make these reviews and like think of like my analysis. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Love you guys so much. Ciao. Lots of love.